I had some more things I was going to talk about, but I'll either fit them in or not. Okay, so White's playing a stonewall system. I've seen a lot of people that do this. This pawn will end up here, and this pawn formation is just called the stonewall. Okay. It's interesting. It's an anti-computer strategy. We can some of the computers, like there's one on ICC called BLIK, and I used to play this system against it and hold draws with it. It's like a 2500 computer. Then there's one over at chess.com. What is it? Computer. I call it Computer Impossible. I always lose to it, but I think I drew it once using this stonewall method. And I said, okay, I'm done with you. You're too good. Oh, he doesn't play c3. Okay, so much for the stonewall. But one of the drawbacks with this system is look at this bishop. Ugh, just not a good piece. Okay, so not too much is happening here, and I would have taken this way simply because it simply because it exposes that backward pawn. Now, you say, well, White can throw a knight in on e5. Well, yes, you can, but at some point, Black can evict that knight. Anyway, he didn't do it that way. He took here, so it was. And he wants to. Oh, look at this! He's forcing him to take here because he just removed the defender.
Check.
Okay. And he has to take double pawns, but this is not a good bishop, and this one is. That's good. That's a good move. He's stopping Black from castling. And Black does the same thing. He stops White from castling. And he says, will you please undouble my pawns for me? He says, no, I won't. Okay. Now I guess Black has a threat. Trade queens and steal a pawn. Is he walking into a fork? No, because he can trade. Ooh, now that is scary. What is he doing? Oh, he's defending his pawn, but I don't know. Let's think about this for a second. Okay. We don't want to undouble Black's pawns, but we don't want our king to run into trouble either. I mean, this just looks. The first impression is it's not a good choice. Now I see he's trying to, like I said, he's trying to defend this. But if that's the case, logically, wouldn't this be a better choice, King F2? The reason is we can attempt to send the rook somewhere along this rank, maybe even to here, and then tuck the king back and castle by hand. Now, not right away. The e3 pawn is under attack, so who knows? We might even put the rook on e1 so that we can defend that and bring the king to safety. Now, that doesn't mean this is a bad move. I don't know, but it certainly looks risky. Like, what if Black chases that knight out? Then White's going to have to undouble. He's got to get rid of that queen. That's what he does. So you got to trade queens here. If you move the knight, this check looks. Let's see, we're going to put the knight here. Hello.
Check.
Where you want to go? Either way you go, you're going to drop a pawn with one of these pawns or both of these pawns. So you got to undouble him. Oh, no, you don't. You can do here. What do I know? I know nothing. Okay, let's see. This is what I was thinking he had to do. And White's got to take care of this guy. Well, let's just go steal a pawn. Isn't White winning this? I mean, I could be missing something. Let's see, man. This is getting crazy. Okay, we can steal that. We can steal that. And we got to watch this. We got to watch this. We got to watch out for this. No, he can't. This is no good for white. Okay, so we'll go with that move. And he says, enough's enough.
Check.
Those wishing zug. I got to save this. Okay, bishop e4 on the pawn. Okay, it's not moving. Did white resign? Black resign? Oh, he's hanging a piece. Okay. Duh. Oopsie. Okay. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Well, one thing I didn't do this game, look at the clock. Yeah. I mean, how much time did he spend on this move? His clock went up by 9 seconds, so he spent 36 seconds on the move. You can't do well if you play that quick. I'm going to stop well, actually, I'll leave it on the recording. There's a large tournament in Las Vegas every December. Well, there's two of them in Las Vegas. One's in June. That would be the National Open. The other one is the North American Open. That's in December between Christmas and New Year. Now, 2014, I was playing. I didn't live here at the time, but I drove in from Phoenix, and I just happened to notice their sections. They had one huge ballroom, and now they have a better ballroom. They can put all the boards. They had some overflow, but just bear with me. The top boards were way in the back. Okay, they're way back, and so if you're playing in the top room, you're far away from all the foot traffic. I think that's one big room, and then as you walk in, you see the lower boards. Okay, now the lower boards would be, I think it's under 1250 section, and then the next group is under 1500, then under 1700, and under 1900, under 21, under 23, and then open. That's how it works. So 1 hour after play, you're going to start seeing the lower boards thin out, and after about 3 hours play, there's hardly any lower boards left. But if you look at all the other boards, the other sections, very few of the next section have ended, and the only ones that are at the higher sections that are ending are the quick draws. Okay, they decide, let's just make peace. Okay, we'll go home. Those will end, and then maybe somebody will uncork an opening trap or something. Very few games are over quickly, and so that's after about 3 hours of play. You heard, the deeper you go to the room, the more full seats you see. So, first question is why are so many lower boards out? Okay, where are they gone? And it's not that they, they're moving too fast, because they're not. Okay, what it is they're inexperienced, and they're doing what black just did. They're not paying attention. They're blundering a piece. Okay, and they will give those games up and say, I resign. You're lost. You resign. Okay, so 3.5 hours in, you'll start seeing the under 15 and under 1700 sections start to thin out, but the higher sections will still be very full. And two reasons: that they're evenly matched, but more importantly, they're taking their time. You see, the internet has spawned a new breed of chess players who just play here, and they get introduced to chess on the internet, and they're not going to the club, they're not going to the tournaments, and there's Dan Eisman was talking, there hasn't really been a record of somebody that grew up on the internet and played and became, then entered tournaments and became an instant sensation. Well, by sensation I mean master. Okay, uh, it's hard to say these things, but the common thread for the breed that do play, they understand to take their time. Okay, they understand that, and I look here at this clock. Here, I'm gonna do something a little different. I have never done this on one of these games, but I'm gonna let me see. I'll show you how I do this. What I'm talking about. Okay, bring back my library here. Now what I'm going to do is I right click this game. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. And I hit this little thing that says S moves. Now here's what it does. It shows how much time they took on every move. So, here he took a lot of time on his first two moves. I don't know, making up his mind or pouring himself a cup of coffee to help his game. I don't know. But 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 11 seconds, 16 seconds, 18 seconds, 3 seconds. Looking at black, 11, 19. Here, 119, 208, 101. And then 3 seconds, although he was in check. You can't play chess like this. Now, here, 145, that's about what you should take. Maybe a little bit more. 228, that's good. 138, 39, close. 202, 130. A few times White stopped and slowed down, but White's just as guilty. Well, I guess you can argue in the opening you can get away with it, and you should save some time for later. But you want to get good at chess, you have to learn to think deeply. Calculate. Search for ideas. If you're just playing your first impulse, then you should be playing blitz and bullet chess, because in blitz and bullet chess you have to play your first impulse. Well, particularly in bullet. Anyway, end of rant. Okay, let's see. We have 20 minutes left. Stop recording.